My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. Alright, the rest of the stuff that we need to get done whilst Kim is away, Dubois shall play. Of course! Let's talk more to Joyce! Sorry, Joyce, Lena Morale. But hang on, what's this? Nothing on the front page rings a bell. Strange. Front page of which? Also, I might get a little bit more dialogue with a couple of people down here. Beautiful. In particular, probably the police agents. They might not have wanted to say anything in front of the other guy.
Hello, dear. There you are again.
Alright. I'd really like to hear more about cryptids. Of course, dear. Is there a particular cryptid you're interested in hearing about? What's the tiniest cryptid? Cryobactercatlensis, she answers immediately. Cryobactercatlensis? Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in the northmost parts of Katla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologist Katlin Mianu, some 70 years ago. What's so special about it? The bacterial colony Mianu found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reasonably estimate. Certainly from before recorded history. Mianu, sorry. Gotta stop tripping up on that. Mianu disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she'd brought back to study. No doubt, in hopes to prolong her own life. Wait, she injected herself with it? You mean there's an immortal geologist wandering around the world? Why would you prolong your life? Being alive is terrible. I intend to live forever. She's preparing for the end times. She wanted to witness and record the Twilight proceedings. Wait, she injected herself with it? Yes. The bacteria had survived in the ice since times immemorial. It's not hard to see where she could have gotten the idea. You mean there's an immortal geologist wandering the world? Yes, and she's quite mad too. After she treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but also became increasingly eccentric and irascible. So even her oldest friends were forced to pull away. We can assume that she's been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now, all alone except for Cryobactercatlensis coursing through her bloodstream. It makes absolutely no sense that you would be able to adopt the characteristics of a bacteria exclusively just by injecting that bacteria into your body. What's the most dangerous cryptid? Like, it could just have, like, really, really good cold resistance. Maybe she's not immortal. She's just extremely, extremely warm. What's the most dangerous cryptid? The Gnome of Jeroma. She pauses for effect. The Gnome of Jeroma? That doesn't sound too bad. Oh, it is. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found the bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved organic tissue. What does the cryptid look like? It was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead. An ungainly little thing, quite scary to look at. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed its sound. They were scared and wrapped it in tarpaulin to suffocate it. She looks at you, her voice grave suddenly. It still took the Gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die. Are there any photos of it? Alas, no. And the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking it would detoxify the gnome's venom. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's tooth into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science, she says mostly to herself. Alas! Always. Alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient? Seems very convenient that it disappeared, nothing like it was ever seen again. She nods. I understand your skepticism, but that's what happens with things that are rare and stand out. Their disappearance is most memorable, and they're least likely to be found again. See, that's probably said oftentimes in your husband's line of work. Are there any invisible cryptids? What an interesting question. The answer is yes, there are. What's that? The Col du Mama Dakar, or the Thin Whisper of Sound. And that's precisely what it seems to be. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. which makes it incredibly difficult to track. What evidence is there of this animal being a sound? There we go. Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 1920s, a group of Aropagite ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ear mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer inspection, were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds. Just nod eagerly. The scientists soon discovered that they could track and even predict what appeared to be mating, feeding, and migration patterns based on the sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest pitched bats calls. She transforms when she's speaking about these strange animals into a confident woman. They realized they had discovered a new species and called it the Col du Mama Dakar, after the Parakinesian name for the voice of the god, which is said to be very silent. Go on. They grew quite obsessed with these little birds, even though they couldn't see them. They could distinguish among individual birds and, she smiles, even began to name some of them. Name them? Sequester, Time, Jokin. She nods. Those are but some of the Mama Dakar that followed individually. They followed individually, rather. Could it be here? Look around. Right now? It could be, she says calmly. As I said, it wouldn't be everywhere, and we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights. What does it sound like? Like nothing. It's like it's such a high-pitched sound that us humans can't hear it, nor can other animals. It could be ringing outside your window, and you wouldn't even know it. It could be anywhere. Everywhere, even. But how can an animal be a sound? Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it itself isn't a sound, but a tiny corpuscle? Corpuscle? I swear I've seen the word before, but I've never heard it said out loud. A tiny corpuscle that actually seems right, like a muscle, corpuscle, yeah. Corpuscle that emits sound waves, but there's no evidence to support this theory. Why is the Mama Dakar so afraid of us? That is a sad story, she frowns. A group of university scientists assisting with fieldwork, in their enthusiasm for the project and, no doubt, because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction. Extinction? She nodded gravely. They tried to communicate with it, but had no other means than sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mama Dakar. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dear? Well, it depends on their phase. They either interact destructively or they amplify. This lady should really be a teacher. She's really good at explaining things. Yeah, they cancel each other out or they amplify each other. It depends on how out of phase the waves are with one another. I'm going to say they cancel each other out because that's clearly what she's going for. Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly when they happened upon the right frequency, they wiped out most of the population. Great regret washes over her, a wending cloth. After that, the corpuscles appear to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in the air, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable Col du Mama Dakar populations anywhere. Interesting. What about... She smiles gently. What about what? Man, I just can't get enough of these cryptids. She grins. I'm glad you liked them. But I'm not really one to tell you about all of them. You should ask my husband if you get the chance. He's the real expert. That's enough now, ma'am. Thank you very much. I don't want to do any confronting of Titus or any of that kind of stuff at this point in time. Gart doesn't seem to have been treating me differently with Kim around.
What is it?
Let's see.
Again.
So they're just going to be there and be hostile for a while. I understand. Is it the right time for the window? I suspect not. It's only 3 p.m. Oh, hang on. It is the right time. Mysterious door seen, and I've been here for a long time. Damn it. Alright, let's revert my gaze. I didn't have anything that was lowering my perception or anything that could increase my perception, right? Because if I did, I'm gonna be real sad about it. No, you dad. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I was pretty much always gonna roll it like that. I do have the ability to level up now. I could increase my perception. Honestly, it's not a bad idea. I would like to be just a touch more perceptive. You know what? Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna look through it again. Sucks. What's this weirdo cop doing now, huh? Window shopping? No, that's a completely different series, and if you'd like to see that, you can go to rhapsody.com/. Rhapsody.com. Yeah, just go to the music streaming service that's taken my username on every GD website. I'm not mad about it. I definitely don't hold a grudge, but I am mad about it, and I do hold a grudge. I think he's trying to find dirt on us in our box. Isn't that what they do, Shanks? Don't you know policemen are sometimes called pigs? Oh. No. I ain't heard of that. Yeah, it's because they like to sniff around in dirt. The tattooed man gives you a look. He's just trying to sound clever. He has no idea what you're looking for, what you do, nor do you yourself. Yeah, no, it's fair that I don't know yet, but I'd like to know at some point. Could you just let me... At least I now know. It's 3 p.m. and afterwards. It's also a heroic. I don't think it's a legendary, but it is a heroic. Inland Empire. Was that? Could it be? The Call du Mama Kaka? Du Mama Kaka. I knew it. I've been trying to say it correctly every single time, and I knew that I was eventually going to say Kaka instead. Call du Mama Dakar. No? It's probably just an imagination ringing in your ear. Is it? Is there a ringing? Listen more closely. There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring, ultrasonic. Lena said it was very high-pitched, right? It's like something that tickles your ear. Lena also said it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including humans. What you're hearing must just be a regular bird. Honestly, your ear isn't hearing a whole lot. The distant hum of the industrial harbor, the traffic, but admittedly there is a high-pitched noise somewhere out there. But then again, isn't there always? Listen closely first. There it is again! You're about to discover a long-lost species. Keep listening. Must be very close. Maybe, just maybe it'll come towards you. Keep still. It might perch on your shoulders. I'm gonna move my head towards the sound. Oh, the sound! It's moving away! It's somewhere over there. Go after it. No, too late. It's gone. There's no ringing anymore, just the sound of the streets. No, come back, please. Listen more. Keep your ears peeled then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it again. I actually need to unlock another slot. I really thought that I had an extra slot already unlocked. Coldo Mama Dakar. You heard it. The mysterious Coldo Mama Dakar. You're certain you did? Well, maybe not certain, but let's say you're hopeful. Because it would make you very special. To be the only person who can hear this invisible, incorporeal bird, this inanimate whisper. This animate whisper, this particle of sound. You're gonna have to keep listening. Sharpen your ear. I imagine that's probably gonna give me, like, you know, better results on perception hearing tests or something similar to that. You know, I haven't talked to Kuno and Kuno S ever since I did the autopsy and got rid of the body. There's something down there. What? The musty smell of a potato cellar in spring emanates from the air vent. Yeah, I haven't spoken with Kuno since. Kuno might have more to share with me. There's also something that I can only talk with Sylvie. Sylvie? Clausia.
Necromancer pig! That shit was dark! Going in there like that! Brutal shit! Tell me, Kuno dies, you're gonna pick one out of his brain like that too? Kuno's gonna go out in a hail of bullets! Gonna look like a fucking porcupine!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to tell the cause of death when you die, Kuno. 'Cause it's gonna be me. Porta Rosa, a side alley of the Boogie Street Spearhead. A young man in his early 20s approaches police officer Emil Mullins and asks for a cigarette. As Officer Mullins reaches into his coat for a pack of Astra he just purchased this morning, the man shoots him point blank in the chest. Breathless, the patrol officer collapses in the gutter. His right hand is grabbing the armor on his chest. The bullet didn't pierce it, but he can't breathe. On the pavement, the patter of perpetrator's feet is growing distance. "Bleed, pig!" Someone opens a window and says, but Emil can't see who. His sight grows dim with pain. I'll be there for you, Kuno. You know what's a good line of work for getting shot? Or don't be silly, you're a kid, answer me some questions instead. I'll be there for you, Kuno, to pull a bullet out of your brain. That said, again, you know, even if it's not me, if you are going out in a hail of bullets, it'll be pretty obvious. I'm not going to need to search for the bullet in your brain. I'll be there for you, Kuno, though. Yeah. There's a dreamy look in his eyes. That's a lot more conversation than I thought. I want to discuss the body with you again, Kuno. The fuck about it? Where's the rest of his armor? Kuno doesn't give a shit about his armor. Okay. How come? That fucking had one thing majorly wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant. I'm just gonna quickly close those windows because it is 10 p.m. at night and I do not want my neighbors to hear me voicing this character. A mutant? Do you remember how he fucking looked? Fucking growth hormone shit. It's in giants. The armor's too big for any man. He drills his temples with his fingers in some strange, aggressive gesture. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away. What do you mean, threw it away? Kuno tried to get his helmet on. It was too big. He performed a kickoff on the imaginary helmet. Kuno kicked that shit right into the sea. Rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. You threw it in the sea? Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. He repeats. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fucking go on about that armor? Go fuck the mustachioed union, fuck the jolly troubadour shit at the gates. What do you mean, troubadour? Cock and boots. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about some shit of cows. Came around pretending like he cares about cows. He means Manana, the laid-back striker at the gates. You mean Manana? Yeah, he's the one you want to fucking talk to. He's crazy about that armor shit. Coming here, pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep of Kuno's armor. Curious. Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information? And you're just telling me this out of the kindness of your heart, Kuno? Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Kuno Day. Kuno feels sorry for you, loser pig. Kuno's doing pity now. Still seems suspicious. He may have had it in for the guy. Or you may be paranoid. That is a possibility, sire. There are contusions all over his body. Did you do that? Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit? He grabs his head like it's suddenly hurting. He means you're stupid, Kuno. He wants to make you stupid again. They want to make you stupid again. Huh. Maybe that's like Kuno S referring to the fact that Kuno used to be kind of like more straight and narrow. Or at least not as messed up as Kuno currently is. And that is, in Kuno S's perception, stupid. A contusion is a bruise. I'm talking about the marks your stones left on the body. Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing. He lets go of his head, suddenly feeling better. This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here. More on this later. You're testing Kuno's patience here. Get lost. Kuno, I found your shack. Point to the shack. Yeah, did you fuck in there? What's with the pig head? All that. He picks up a piece of dirt from his fingernails. Kuno decapitates pigs. It's just a Kuno demo tape. Cool big head. I liked it. I got this one. I got one too. This one. Point to your head. It's shit. Oh, hell yeah. He looks confused. What is this shit? Fucking on yourself. This is some weird level shit. Kuno doesn't go there. Fuck your shit back to normal. What is this? Well played. No one saw that coming. I found a plate covered with powder residue. Know anything about it? That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno's Shazam. Kuno rides the fucking lightning in there, pig. Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle behind your eyes. What's with the tune of Magnosolum, Kuno? It's a fucking vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything? He looks at you like you just pointed at the sun and asked what it was. You could use some. It's magnesium, right? Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, rips mag like a motherfucker. You could certainly use a barrel. Don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno. I know all about magnesium. I rock it all the time. He looks at you, eyes bulging. You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo. Fuck you, pig. Don't do mag. You're gonna die and you're gonna die. I've had enough of this. Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come to Kuno and talk about his kingdom. Kuno, let's talk about your shank again. Were you trying to send me a message of some sorts? Kuno's eyes light up. Yeah! Watch your ass in Kuno's town or Kuno's gonna fuck your head off. He's incredibly pleased with himself right now. I want to see the other one. Demontate, like some kind of musician? Yeah! Kuno plays on the snuff radio. Fucks pigs. Live. Fucks their heads right off. He ominously points at the chat. Kuno's a cop killer. Alright, what's this about you running an errand, and illegal narcotics, Kuno? Kuno gets it from his dad. Kuno and his dad are major suppliers. His eyes bulge, their veins reach out like tree branches. That's where Kuno gets his lightning on. Problem is, Kuno and his dad had a little falling out. Now Junkie's calling at Kuno's door. He's going mad. Kuno's got to throw his dirty popo man at it. It's very interesting, but I'll have to get back to you. Don't take for fucking ever. Kuno's got wheels turning everywhere. I mean, I don't really want to go drug running for Kuno if I can avoid it at all. Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched. So there's a lack of magnesium in me. Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your bloodstream. So I need to mag it sideways? Mag it sideways? What are you talking about? You need to mag it up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already. And the only prescription is insane amounts of magnesium. You're saying I need to become a magnesium-based life form? Yes. If you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to ascend the carbon barrier. Go to the apothecary and buy insane amounts of magnesium. It'll reverse the damage to your circulatory system. -1 to shivers by having no shakes. Interesting. It's generally understood that human beings are carbon-based life forms, fusing little carbon tubes together to form complex, mushy structures capable of thought, love, and locomotion. It's also known that these structures sometimes like to take the edge off by consuming ethanol, amphetamine, etc. In such cases, it is important to supplement your body with magnesium. Tired? Mag it. Down? Mag time. Liver damage? Maximum mag! Some people say magnesium doesn't really do anything and you just need to quit. But what do we tell them? Not today. Do I need to dig through this again? I don't think I do. Oh, I really wish I didn't open that. Oh, that's a jarring sound. All right, Kuno-S, you have anything to say now?
I'll die before I...
All right, I forgot Kuno-S's voice in the last time in the conversation, so... I'll die before I squeal, pig. I cannot do their voice at all. All right. Let's go talk to Klasia of Orania. Klasia Amundal. So there's a specific line of the conversation that asks Clausia... When Kim's not around, ask Clausia what she heard from her room. Yeah, there we go. I'm just trying to figure out specifically the line of conversation that I want to go for here. Oh, I could steal the speed now as well, actually. Just made about 4 months of payments for this room. No, not only do I not want it for my character and don't necessarily want to sell it to anyone else, I also don't want to steal it from her. It's her speed. That said, like, I don't know if my character is having the broadest success possible of just drinking into oblivion, because I found one viable bottle of booze.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Now that Kim isn't here, let's talk about Sunday night. Ah, yes. She pours herself more coffee. The night before I saw you in the hallway and remembered you're a police officer. It's one of the first things I remember doing and reminded you, right? And reminded you you're a police officer. It's one of the first things I remember doing in Elysium. Literally true. Before you was only the room, the sound of the motor vehicle, steam in the bathroom, and darkness. Wow, she says. Mythopoetically adequate stuff. She's a glib girl, but she liked the wording. Did you hear something? Sunday night? From my room? There was the usual ruckus. She nods. Loud disco music. Did I have any visitors? I can't say. Probably not. Sounded like you were flying solo. You mentioned loud disco music? Oh yeah, various artists. Ostentatious orchestration prime among them. She arcs her eyebrow, waiting for it to connect with you. Oh, we're huge where I came from? I was very young then, of course. Like 7. Life gets hard, she says, half singing. But we go on. Mostly it just gets hard, doesn't it? It would appear so. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace. What happened? A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music, on repeat. That went on for a while. Some of the time you were yelling along to it. Was I singing this? Show her the empty case of the smallest church in St. Sam. Yeah, there was a church in there. A really small church. Like the smallest, saddest church in the whole world. It was about that. And also, what else? Well, it doesn't matter anymore. That it doesn't matter anymore, rather. And that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell, but the song itself was very quiet and soft. But you sounded like a wounded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it. I'm sorry. Sorry, Cup. Don't be. I was going out later anyway. It didn't bother me. Then what happened? Then you started screaming and trashing the place. That's so me. What did I do? A window was smashed. The tape player probably. The song stopped. And the furniture too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. And I think you passed out. Please tell me there wasn't anything else. There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then. Around 4 or 5, she nods. And that was it. Thank you. No problem. She feeds herself another cigarette. I have more questions about the disease, but I need my partner here before I ask. Sure. Do whatever you need to. All right, cool. I was wondering why that was a conversational prompt right there. Okay, this is still locked, right? Physical instrument for kicking the door in. Definitely not going to do that. I have the ability to increase my physical instrument like once by drinking, once with... It's a heroic check though, right? So once by drinking and then once by putting on a different t-shirt isn't going to be enough. It's not even going to be close to enough. It's not even going to be in the realm of enough. It is not even familiar with the existence of a word such as enough. Do I need to look at that again? If nothing else, I do get 1 experience for every single orb I interact with. Yeah, the corpse is no longer there. Okay, so it was updated, actually. Is there anything else I can do in this room? Like, I didn't level up Encyclopedia, so I can't look for another source of the expression. I mean, you know what? I could just break the mirror. Oh, no. Heard about the band. Oh, okay. Okay, so never mind. There will be things that I can learn that will give me a little bit more ability here. Got it. I mean, my Encyclopedia isn't getting any higher. Isn't it? Like, there's none of this that would give me Encyclopedia, right? No. All right. I'm gonna try it. Dang it. So hopefully the more and more that I learn about that night, the more positive buffs I'll get to that. Reopening that check for us constantly, hopefully. Okay, what else do I want to do while Kim's away? Let's talk to Call Me Mañana. Actually, let's also talk to Tommy Lom on the way, just in case. Hey, bud.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
Can't spare some change for working stiff. Huh? No. I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work. They who? The bosses, man. I don't know who these bosses are, but that sounds like a good arrangement for them. Yeah, it sure ain't good for me. Or you. I'd spare a coin or two for a city cop down on his luck. If I say, had 4 myself. I only asked Tommy because Tommy and I are on the same wavelength. We're 2 peas in a pod. You got anything else to say, or do I just get to tell you to...
Looking for something, Hunt? Huh? Coming to tell me to fuck off again?
Do I just get to tell you to fuck off again? I get to tell you to fuck off again. Hey, you should fuck off again. Oh. The roses, the yellow roses in the window. Those aren't the roses that were left for Clausia. Interesting. Let's insert our extra bottles. Okay, we can have a lot of difficulty actually sleeping tonight at this rate. We're 16 away.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
Does Freet have a warehouse in the back of the Whirling in Rags? A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what Freet does. I have not got your voice either. I'm gonna try. Come on, give me something to work with here. She looks up from under her brow. Fine. Freet doesn't have a warehouse, just a little back room there. Okay? She turns to a magazine without waiting for you to respond. This is important. She scrunches up her face into an expression of consummate adolescent skepticism. And then says the same thing. Fine. They might join into some kind of like back district behind the Whirling in Rags. With the other. In fact, I strongly suspect it does. The ground floor of this building, basically. Right. What's up, covert strike breaker? Don't need to see anything after that. I just wanted to see if you had anything to say to me.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Kuno says you were supposed to know about the armor. He smiles. Little boy did good on his promise. He says, his promise? To get me in trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words. Not mine. What happened? I was asked to look into the armor situation. Official union probe, you know? Track it down, see who took it. Did you? At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to the boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. That he's got eyes everywhere and the cops in his pocket and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right there and then. And it still got me into trouble. He smiles. One bad move is all it takes. The probe into the armor, what did you learn? I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk union man about some armor. Okay, what else? Not much. Technical stuff. Mostly. That was the interesting part. What sort of technical stuff? I did some research into the Armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library, he explains with a wry smile. I didn't get into material science, just how it comes off. How then? In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid said he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 missing pieces. The gauntlets and the cuirass. That's where I left off. Too much hassle. Sounds like a job for some milica. 4 pieces of armor up. Grabs then, but I already set the boots away. Jolly Man shrugs. I guess you want to be collecting them all then. That's less work for you at least. Damn it! Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. So I guess that you do have the ability to collect all of the armor, and it's probably really hard to do. Dang it. Alright, hold up. 4 pieces. Helmet, cuirass, gauntlet, boots. What are the leggings? Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did. He gives you a jolly shrug. Forget about them. I did. I'm gonna find 1 piece of it. 1's enough. Smart choice, the mustachioed man agrees. It's only that 1 spot you need armor to. The one the bullet hits. Good luck if you go for the boots, though. You'll have an easier time wrestling the spurs off a boyardero than getting them off him. Sakunis used those to what? Scare you? He's a minor nuisance. It's all good. He contemplates taking a swig from his flask. Thank you for your cooperation, sir. No problem. He finally takes a swig from his flask, rather. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way. He's sincerely grateful that he's not tracking down pieces of armor right now. I'm a bit short of money on right now. Can you give me some of it? Sure thing. My friends, I can help you out. He flips a coin towards you, and I get it. Failed. The coin narrowly slips past your far outstretched fingers and falls to the ground. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw it like that. It's just a thing we harbor folk do. Passing around cargo and such. He rubs the back of his head. It was not meant as provocation or ridicule. Don't worry, much appreciated. Pick up the coin. Right. Oh, he's glad to help out. We're on the same page, you and I. Not like these slithering scabs. Alright, you know what? I'm back to being okay with asking. Hypogamma. Rad. Had not seen that before. But yeah, I'm back to okay with asking, exclusively just because I really need the money today and I don't want to sell any more of my items. Somehow I feel like the few remaining people that I want to ask aren't really going to give me any... Oh, hang on. Granny, we haven't talked in a while. What's up? No, you don't snap your fingers directly in front of someone's face like that. That's rude. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, later, you actually need to have a conversation with her at some point. And if you snapped your fingers, you have, like, a strong negative to a roll or something like that. Seems exactly the type of thing this game would do to you. Hang on, around this side, I guess. I think I can ask you for money as well.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Persuade him to give you some money. It's a rhetoric roll, though. I think I could have things that increase my rhetoric. I don't think I have anything on that decreases it right now. Okay, I have decreased rhetoric from the bomb hat. Nothing else. Fine.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Hey, I finally did it. I actually succeeded in roll this episode. Start with a little compliment, then work your way out from there. This is about business, remember? Hey, you seem like a really successful entrepreneur. Would you like to support a member of the local police force? Okay. The man stops, his face suddenly serious. But why, officer? Think of it as investment. An investment? He raises a brow, intrigued. What kind of investment? Or you could not make this about the corruption and go with something even wilder. It's an investment in me, a highly experimental human being. My risk-reward ratio is insane. I'm not going to confiscate the humanitarian aid that you're reselling. I'm a policeman. It's an investment in good relations with the RCM. I mean, that's effectively extortion. I mean, it's extortion in... most of it is extortion, frankly. It's an investment in your customer base. You gotta prime the pump, man. You know what? I think explaining it to him in business terms is probably gonna be the best one. Like, in kind of like slick business terms. So prime the pump, man. Fair point, he agrees. You can't have a successful business without a loyal customer base. How much is your loyalty worth? About 10 real. 10 real is a bargain for that kind of investment. You got it, my man. He takes out a 10 note from a leather pouch. Okay, I'm getting a lot closer to my my goal here of not being homeless at the end of the day. Or his pawn shop, fast cash at faster times. Yeah, might be something I can do in here to talk to Roy, possibly. I don't know. I don't think he was a perception roll. I think there is something I'm being failing.
Again. How can I help you?
It's electrochemistry. Okay. Do you have any recordings of the Col do Mama Dakar? The Col do Mama Dakar. He looks at you. Sorry. I would have never guessed that you were interested in ultrasonic sounds or birds for that matter. I have hobbies, just like all normal people, because I'm a normal person. Or, well, I wouldn't have guessed that you know what the Col du Mama Dakar is. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised by that. That's fair. It's been a long day since my Col du Mama Dakar hunting days. He responds with a thin smile. Once knew a young group of musicians who decided they didn't want to play music at all. Started looking around for all kinds of interesting sounds instead. That sounds so cool. Cool or not, one of them was obsessed with a recording of the Col du Mama Dakar. He was one of those passionate people who know a lot about all kinds of strange things. So he got the rest of us to join in his search. Did you ever find it? We thought we did. We got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns, compared them, cut them up and combined them into the Symphonia Col du Mama Dakar. That's not very scientific. That wasn't really the point. After the Symphonia, we moved into the sounds of office supplies or something like that. And I doubt any of us would have been any good at pushing papers. Can I listen to it? Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life. None at all. But I do have a tape with some ultrasonic sounds you might be looking for. He starts rummaging through the tapes behind the counter. No, it's just okay. I heard the Col du Mama outside of the whirling, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one. Let's talk about something else now. Spin that bird song. He dusts up a case and then takes out a tape and places it on the tape player. This recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific, just left a recording device there one morning. Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make the sounds well over 200 kilohertz audible to the human ear. It will be strange. He switches on the tape player. The speakers begin to emit a low hum. The hum grows louder, modulating, but always unnaturally, uncomfortably low. Like it's coming not from the speakers, but it's also coming from inside your chest. Breathing is becoming difficult. There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you, but also surrounding you. It feels as though someone is standing just outside your range of vision, watching you, doing this to you. He nods to you, reassuring as the more diverse, higher-pitched sounds, some random, some appearing to form patterns, hit your eardrums. Seabirds, most likely. Gulls and such. Seagulls? and squaws. But shh. He raises a pointed finger and inclines his head towards the speakers. A new, high-pitched, shivering sound. That's it. The signal in the noise. The thin whisper. The low range of the sounds is easier to handle with a focal point, but still troubling. You're memorized. You are memorized by the sounds. They know you back to front. You are mesmerized by the sounds, but also feel nausea welling up as the motif continues, then begins to recede, dissolving in what must be the sound of water lapping at the bank. He switches off the tape player. You know, now I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the Golden Marmada car. Wrong patterns. Wrong photons. Probably some insect trying to sing higher than the predators can hear. Still, fascinating, are they? Early morning sounds. By the way, do you happen to have any guns like the ones carried by the officers of the Citizens Militia? You know what? No, I don't think that'll give us any information. I also don't want him to know that I'm missing it. Don't want the street light. I still don't know about the whole Hyundai thing. How much are you selling this shirt for? €2. That's a very cheap print. Very cheap for a printed T-shirt that's still in pretty good shape. That's unusually cheap, isn't it? It should belong to anyone who's ready to wear it. Can you just give it to me for free then? But why? Because I'm a broke cop without a cent to my name? I don't know what achievement we just got. Literally the sorriest cop on the earth. Apologized 10 times. How much are you selling it for? Hang on. So, whoops, I accidentally said the Guardian of the Masculine Order thing. He drums his fingers on the counter. This shirt celebrates a false hero, a Guardian of the Masculine Order. I doubt a real man from Yemdal was as poor a role model as the one in the popular literature. But yes, the books are very sexist, and in a not entirely unenjoyable way. What do you mean the man from Yemdal was real? I mean, even if the man from Yemdal didn't exist before the adventure novels, the stories have made it so he has. It's simple, really. Say more. It's simply a matter of recognizing that cause and effect work in both directions. Besides, I've been to Qatar, not much quite as far north as Hemdal, but watched northern lights travel across the sky. Very unique energetic tides there. His theory isn't exactly incoherent, but its logic does suggest some unusual neural activity. Interesting. I'm going to let go of the t-shirt and end the episode. For the moment, my name has been Rhapsody, the name of the game. It's been Disco Elysium. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. There's a playlist in the description down below with all my contents on the game, past, present, and future, and hopefully we'll see you next time.